Thank you for staying with us. Let's look at what some individuals have come together to do. One of the news making the rounds, one of the news making the rounds is that Atlantic Hall
is 30.
Is 30. Yeah. Atlantic Hall is 30. One of the most reputable schools in Nigeria, and the activities are already in top gear to celebrate when it was founded. School was set up by 5 women who saw the need to change the narrative of the decaying standard of education in Nigeria. 5 women. Please underline the word women. Underline
Was it Professor Patutomi who says, if you want anything done in this
just
country,
give it to
the woman?
I'm telling you.
Give it to the woman.
Okay, you're hearing one of them talking already. So they decided to establish a school that would become the standard bearer for a new educational epoch. Okay, so I didn't go to Atlantic Hall, and
way after your time, I promise you.
Okay, but hold on. We have the chairperson of the Board of Trustees, Chief Mrs. Taiwo, here to talk to us about it. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Well done. So, 30 years. How does it feel?
To be honest, when it takes me back to, just the sheer guts that it took of us saying enough. Never in our mind did we imagine we'll have a school with an 80-acre campus with 650 students all boarding. No, otherwise I don't think we would have dared. We just could not stand by.
650, all boarding.
All boarding. It's an industry. We cook 66,000 meals a month. Just to let you imagine the logistics involved in that. We've been running only on NEPA, on generators, for the last 15 years.
Oh, jeez.
But luckily that is about to come to an end.
How Nigeria kills businesses.
Yes, so just imagine
a whole book can be written about that.
Yeah. But it was born out of absolute sheer determination. And honestly, because it was our children, time to enter enter secondary school. And we thought, listen, it's not our parents that are going to get into this discourse. It's not their business. They've done it with us. And we were greatly inspired when we look at the historical role that women have made in changing, being inspirational change agent. Coroner School was formed by a group of women, the Coroner Society. Queen's College was started by Lady Abayomi. So we said, listen, it looks as if history has called us to do something.
It's always women, isn't it?
And we took it. It was not easy at all, because we were talking of an era. I always get my years wrong now. 1998, 1996 actually we started, when private secondary school had been banned by the Jakande government effectively. People forget about that era. Remember, he banned the mission schools, and basically there was a determined effort to just lower all standards. Schools like Government College Ibadan suddenly had 5 schools in them. And for us, for me, when I went to have a look at even the elite, the top school at that time, King's College, because my first one is a boy. So it was a King's College that was the aspirational school. Yeah. I was stunned. I peeped into the window and saw that there was no window that wasn't broken, and I couldn't find a chair that had 4 legs. I thought, what on earth is this? What are they going to learn from here? Thuggery, hooliganism, and to get into those schools, because we came from the Southwest. Remember, they had quota system. Our children had to get, 90s. And so we subjected them to those arduous, really cruel process of lesson teacher number 1 at 2, lesson teacher number 2 at 4, dash to a teacher under the greenwood tree in the sun. And we thought, this is not right. And, we started. and it was a long journey of actually going about looking at the legal framework that we could use. We looked at Grange, and we looked at the American International School. We looked at Lebanese International School, and decided to use that framework, which was basically to register it as a company registered under the Land Perpetual Act, a charity. And we recognized that we widened we widened our membership from 5 original trustees to 10, and then we went beyond that. We called a lot of people of our generation and said, "What do you think about the education system that's destroyed right now? Do you want to join us?" And we were stunned. There were masses of people that said, yes, yes, yes. So that was it. We had a critical mass of people that were determined, and we formed the council through that. It's important how to put together pressure groups, because if you don't have a critical mass of people that are all saying the same thing.
Like-minded.
So then going through all the processes, we looked at that time, Ogun State had lessened its strict rules about banning schools. So we thought of going to Ogun State, and then, hurrah, Ahigbe came to power, and he lifted that ban. So we started the process of fundraising, and that was, as we say, it was an uphill task, full of pitfalls and obstacles, but we were undaunted by the task. And I love to say this. I consider that we have become inspirational change agents, because after that we have so many other schools, and the issue of good secondary school education, I mean the narrative of bad secondary school, private is over. And what is even more incredible is that we now have the curious reverse of history, that a lot of parents who are in the diaspora, when they have teenagers going through that difficult year of rebellion and not knowing what education, they send them to our school. They send them to Atlantic Hall for the years so they'll understand what school is for. It's not to be rude. It's for you to know that you're meant to leave there with with character and with good education and aspiration for a better, well-rounded education. And so many of them come to us and say, "Thank you for saving my child from the thuggery," especially the ones that have gone to this terrible, some of this horrible public, what they call, but not the public school, but the actual public schools in England.
Okay, so Chief Mrs. Taiwo, Mrs. Eniola, Father Ami, Lady Bemini Smith, Keo, Dinah, Mrs. Dinah, Tari Koka, joined you later, Lola Boderin, Marlies Allen, Bode Thomas,
Yes.
KG Okunowo, Grace, Father Ami,
Yes.
first 10.
That's it.
Okay, but over the years, so you opened in 1989.
Yes.
And over the years, you've continued to churn out awesome people.
Amazing.
Amazing people.
Incredible.
And I'm sure I saw someone's name here, Kemi Adetiba.
Yeah.
One of those you're very proud of.
Oh, look, I tell you, our story, and they love it. Our alumni are passionate because they experienced something that was truly, truly unique. I mean, one of the things that shocked us when we started in Maryland. Remember the Maryland Hotel? We converted it into the school. And it turns out that a hotel makes fantastic conversion to classrooms. Just knock two double rooms together and you have a bathroom. And you have a perfect bathroom. I mean, we had a swimming pool there, and you won't believe how amazing the Beachcomber. Remember the Beachcomber? What easily converted to the assembly hall. And then we had a restaurant, La Parisienne. So all the infrastructure were there for us to start. But what amazed me most was the willingness of parents to entrust their children into our hands. I mean, I'm not a teacher. Not only one of us was a teacher, but the group was not made up of educators, but people that had a passion to do something for our children. They entrusted their children into our hands from year one. We had 100 students. I remember one man, he had 5 children in the schools they had just brought from England, and he climbed to my office and he said, I've heard you talk, I've seen you speak. I want my income to come to your school. And that was what really is a story to be told.
Okay, we'll take a moment and we'll come back to look at the plans for the celebration of this 30 years. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. We still have Atlantic Hall at 30, and we have Mrs. Taiwo here. So, Mrs. Taiwo, so 30 years, 3 decades.
Incredible.
What's the celebration package like?
Well, it's been a whole year of celebrations. We had, medical outreach for the community in Ekpe. That was awesome. It was supported by EMSA. We gave people deworming, cardiovascular. Yeah. And there were long queues. Some people would come back again and again and again. I think some of them were wanting to set up mini shops. But our finale, today is our school sports day, and that's why I can't make it there, because and here is a different direction.
Different ends.
The climax is our gala night, which is coming up on Saturday. We're calling it a phenomenal evening of entertainment, celebration, and salutation. We've launched a 2 billion naira fundraising effort to take us to the next level. We want to create an endowment fund. We have created an endowment fund to bring in 20% of future intakes from indigent, brilliant students. Because we've only been doing about only 1 year from all over Nigeria, indigent students that are unable to, but are clever, and have them sponsored throughout the 6 years of secondary schools. I was terribly motivated to do this because one of our indigent brilliant students graduated this year. His name was William. And his story so moved me. He came in, apart from being very poor, the year he came in, both his mother and father died. Oh, dear. And really, his story, he came in from that background, but because he was clever, he was good in sports, which is what motivated me. His best friend in the school was the son of a governor of a state, and his father actively encouraged that friendship because he brought the best out of his son. He graduated in June. He had been elected head boy. So it shows you that if you're smart, you're clever, you're well-behaved, people aspire to be like you. They forget what your background is. And his best friend's father, who's a governor of his state, aspired for his son to be his friend. He graduated, and his graduation day I said to myself, we have to create many more Williams. He's now won a scholarship. He has 2 scholarships. He's won a scholarship at that private university in Ghana, $40,000 for his undergrad, and he's got another scholarship to America to do his master's. Now, I want us to create many more Williams, because I keep saying this. One day we will solve the problem of light. One day we'll solve the problem of infrastructure. But if we do not engage and empower not only children whose parents can afford it, but all of Nigeria, we will never rise to the state of China where 4-year-olds are creating computers.
Indeed.
And that is my great passion.
Okay.
And
that's something to be said for merit. And
then we're celebrating. Our first 20 years, we created 7 ambassadors. Our alumni are phenomenal. This year we've searched 10 more alumni who tell an incredible story. I'll give you a few names of who they are. Kemi Adetiba. Yes, she's an alumni.
Sheye Ogunlewe.
Sheye Ogunlewe. So,
Omilola
Former
Oshikwa.
minister's son?
No, Ogunlewe is a sprinter. He represented Nigeria at the Olympics 2016.
Omilola Ogunlewe. But one of the greatest, then there's Matthew Otubo. He's 26 years old. He just won, he was just on the New Year's list of the Queen with an MBE. Yes. And I mean, he's articulate, he's smart, and he just blows up. We're so proud of him. He's coming to that event. And
Youth Councillor for Newcastle City Council.
Yes, and then he has been elected, he has been given the, and he's going to be given the award in the Tower of London and conferred with the honor by Her Majesty the Queen of England, if you please. Yes.
Excuse
me. Yes. At 26. And you know what I love about the alumni is that they keep, it's like a little, you know, they just keep
like
close.
a club.
Yeah, it's a club because it wasn't a large school, especially, and they form, you know, like, you know, they form a bond. I mean, they're in Japan, they're all over the world carrying their Atlantic Hall badge.
Indeed. Mrs. Taiwo, we have to let you go, but not without a word for the future. What's the plan for the future?
Oh, wow, that's simple. You know, last year we had this thing, what got us here will get us there. Because in the space of education, the world is moving. We've just formed a partnership with Carleton University in Ottawa, Canada. They will be sending us teachers to teach experiential learning. Because learning of the future is not going to be classroom learning. Teachers, they're going to be exploring and creative thinking. And I think that's going to take us to another level. We're also exploring partnership with Universal World Colleges. Hopefully within the next 1 year, we will be the first in West Africa to be a member partner school of Universal World Colleges. There are 18 of them all over the world. And the sky
It's the limit.
is the limit.
I know it's the beginning.
It's just the beginning.
Thank you very much, Chief Mrs. Taiwo, for joining us. Talk about Atlantic Hall at 30.
Thank you
we
very
wish
much.
you well.
Yes.
So the gala is on Saturday, right?
Yes, it's on Saturday.
Alera will be there.
Oh, yes.
She hasn't
I've
been
invited her. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For always being so gracious to have me on to talk about my
Your passion.
my passion.
Thank you. All right, so as we're back in a moment, please stay with us.